What's good? What's good? We are back. Another live from Fayettenam Friday. I'm the one and only Paul Masson. Of course, you know how I do it every 7 p.m. Eastern Time, every Friday night. Check me out live from Fayettenam. One and only Paul Masson. So got a guest coming on tonight. Give a little bit of time to come on. Probably should email her and make sure everything's still good. She out there in the Bay Area and whatnot. We all the way over here on the East Coast. And like always, if somebody doesn't if something happens where an interview can't come on, I'll definitely freestyle and do something on the fly. That's for sure. If I have to. Let's see. Let me message her, see if she's still good. Um, hey CMG. Just want to make sure we're still good. Because I think last week she got the reminder like right at 7 when we went live. If I'm not mistaken, it was like right at 7. So I don't see her coming on just yet. Um, so I'm gonna do some shout outs. Go check out the Paul Pickett podcast, of course. I got a couple new interviews. I got an interview with Chancey Superfly Wilson, who will be fighting in Denver next Friday or Saturday. I think it's next Friday for BKFC. Raleigh, North Carolina, checking in. Salute. Appreciate you, DJ Trey Love. Appreciate you tuning in on Instagram. We'll sit here waiting for our guest to come on. So yeah, I got an interview with Chancey Superfly Wilson, who'll be fighting for BKFC in Denver next Friday. Then I got another interview with Justin Martinez, and he's fought about 4 or 5 pro bare knuckle fights. Still looking for his first win, but at 5'2", I mean he's a bulldog in there. And I got more interviews coming on the way as well, you know. And tomorrow I should be doing live music reviews. Thinking live music reviews will be around 4 p.m. or 5 p.m. Eastern time. Make sure y'all submit at livefromfayettenam at gmail.com. I repeat, livefromfayettenam at gmail.com. And you know what? Let me go ahead and throw a comment for y'all to submit there. That way y'all can submit some music now for tomorrow. Anybody that's tuning in that makes music. And I'm still waiting on CMG from the Conscious Daughters to pop into the guest, the little guest room here. I ain't seeing her pop up just yet. Try to bring her in. She's on West Coast time, and so they're like 3 hours behind. It's like 4 p.m. her time, and it's 7 p.m. my time. 7:03 right now. Well, you know what? While we're waiting for her, I guess I'm gonna go ahead and get into it. What I wanted to get into, and that was the J. Cole shit that I kind of been like seeing a lot lately. Like a lot of people been going in on J. Cole for a while now. They still going in on him after he dropped that new song. As far as the new song, I mean it's an okay record. It's a good record. I just think like we're at an age now in hip hop and probably in music in general where it seems like we put every when a cat is like Kendrick's caliber or Drake's caliber or Cole's caliber, we put every single song under a microscope. I mean, the song was a good album cut. It wasn't no single or a hit single. It was a good record. I will say, like, for people who are out there saying that J. Cole might have been like the winner in this whole situation. That's crazy as hell, man. Like, there's a saying called "quitters never win." Like, he quit. Like, hell no, he didn't win, man. He took a L, man. And the city of Fayettenam, I mean, I feel like there's some of us in the city that feel like we took a L too because of that, man. Like, the Fayettenam mentality is not to back down from a battle. The Fayettenam mentality is not to back down from a rap battle. I could tell you that much. That's not the mentality of Fayettenam. We don't really like backing down from anything. To be honest with you, we're the kind of people that when we go out of town in other people's cities, we stir up a lot of trouble, and we got to let it be known that it's Fayettenam cats stirring up the trouble while we're doing it. We're not ones to back down. I've been out of town and with some people before, and things that just popped off because Fayettenam dudes just we're not very humble. We're not very humble. When we're not into backing down. We, the Fayettenam mindset is a militant mindset. We got a militant mindset. It's like you call us out, oh, it's time to go to war. So like, I don't want everybody to think like J. Cole calling it quits and pulling out it. Because when he pulled that song down, that's when he took the L. Like, you already put it out there. Everybody that needed to hear it heard it, and then so many people reacted to it and reviewed it that even when you take it down, you really didn't take it down. There's still plenty of people online that reviewed the song, that checked out the song, and I just think like, I know he said like he felt like if he would have stayed in the battle, he might have lost a friend. But I don't feel like J. Cole and Kendrick would have gotten to the same level as Kendrick and Drake. I don't think it would have got as personal to the point where you would have lost a friend. Because first of all, let's think about this. Like, how friendly was K Dot being when he called y'all out after y'all, because y'all literally said on first person shooter mode, Kendrick, Cole, and Drake were top three. Y'all basically stated that, which has been common knowledge in the rap game for the last decade or so, that those guys have been like the level they were at, really top three when fan base and consumer base, and just how people look at them. But y'all kind of put yourself at top one and two. Drake and Cole did on that song. So, and then when you call yourself like the best on the song, and then somebody calls you out, you just want to bow out, you know. Nah, man, there's no way Cole won this battle. There's no way he won the war. It put a chink in his armor. I would argue, Cole lost fans because of it. How many fans? Who knows? But I would argue that there's people that just totally said, nah, dog, I ain't rocking with you like that no more. I'm not rocking with you like that anymore. I mean, and then it's like I saw a video where like this is the same guy that called out all the SoundCloud rappers, right? He is the same guy that called out all the SoundCloud rappers. Oh, hold up, let's see. Okay, she said I'm on. Let's see. I don't see her. I'm seeing her. Hold on one second. Let me see the link again. Yeah. Hold on one second. All right, hold on. She messaged like 2 or 3 minutes ago. Um, but yeah, man. Nah, man. Cole didn't win this. Kendrick outright won. Um, Did he save himself embarrassment? Possibly. But I don't know. I just think Cole could have. I think Cole could have gave it a good run with Kendrick. I think he could have outdid "You Not Like Us," which is a very annoying song to me. But I can't subscribe to say that he won this battle. He's the winner, winner, chicken dinner over here. When he bowed out, man, he took a L. He removed the song, and once you put the song out there on the digital airwaves, I mean, once you upload it to YouTube and people start reacting, there's no taking it down. That's the thing. It didn't even make sense for him to take the song down at that point anymore. It just didn't make no sense. Too many people that reacted to. I can still look up those videos right now. Those people reacting to that song and hearing what they had to say about it. But nah, man. I mean, no way, no how did J. Cole come out the winner of this shit. He made Fayettenam cats look bad. We look like we just bow out. Like we soft as Charmin. Like we soft as a baby's butt and whatnot. And I think going forward on now, I think they're gonna put his music more under the microscope even more now. Which it could be a good thing. It could be a good thing because then the haters come out. You know how it works. The haters come out and they promote like 40%, 50% of the music for you. As far as the views and the clicks go and the engagement. But I just can't subscribe to the fact that Cole is somehow the winner in all this when he bowed out and quit and decided not even to get involved. I mean, he might have been the second best winner in this over Drake because Drake was definitely the loser in this, but he might have been the second best winner in this with the fact that he didn't have to have Kendrick doing a bunch of songs about him. But for the most part, man, I mean, Kendrick won, and that's it. Drake is definitely people ain't looking at Drake the same way no more. Like people are definitely not looking at Drake the same no more. Like they're not clamoring for Drake as much no more. I think some people think he lost the Pusha T battle. Then this one, I mean, that's two battles in a row. Yeah, you beat Meat Mills, but who can't beat Meat Mills in a battle? He raps the same every single song, man. Just loud tempo, high energy. Yeah, I'm not seeing. Uh, hold up. Let me see. Let me send it again. Yeah, she on. Okay, she on the old link. She said she on the old link. Hopefully, we get her on here real soon. Where we at? We like 13 minutes into it. Yeah, cause I don't know how much I could ramble about. This J Cole shit. I'm past the song. It was it's nostalgic. It had the Dead Presidents joint Dead Presidents loop in it. That's cool. A lot of people's done that. Makes sense. Jay-Z signed them. Nice beat, nice flow. But it's not nothing like, oh my gosh, did you hear what he said? Did you hear what Cole said? And nobody and I don't want to hear nobody ever call him the GOAT no more. Or the best or top dog or numero uno. I don't want to hear none of that no more because Cole himself said he's not number one. He said it out his own mouth he's not number one. He said by bowing out, he said Kendrick's number one. By quitting, he said Kendrick's number one. Out of the horse's mouth, he said it himself. He's not the GOAT. He's not number one. He's not numero uno. You know, me and Drizzy, numero uno. Nah, he's not. He's not. And I got nothing but love for Cole, man. You know what I'm saying? I literally stay like 60 seconds away from Forest Hill right now. If I walk my dog to Forest Hill, I'll be there in like 60 seconds, you know? So there's that. But hopefully CMG gets this link here soon. I sent her the new link. She was on the old link. Old link ain't no good because like I had to, once I go live, the link is no good. You gotta pretty much create a whole new stream and whatnot. Appreciate everybody that's tuning in right now. Um, hopefully we get CMG. Whoever's tuning in on YouTube, please comment. Please leave a comment. Please leave a like. Please make sure you subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Also, if you make music, submit music at Live from Fayettenam. Submit it to livefromfayettenam at gmail.com. I repeat, livefromfayettenam at gmail.com. Hopefully we get CMG on here in a minute, man, because I got a bunch of questions I want to ask her. And just so y'all know, CMG, she's one half of the Conscious Daughters, who was signed by Paris back in the days and produced by Paris from the West Coast. Because like anybody thinks I don't know hip hop, you done bumped your head. You done bumped your head if you think I don't know hip hop. I done listen to probably every. I'm not really like I was born in '79, so I wasn't really big on the '80s hip hop. But as far as '90s hip hop goes, I mean, I listen to every album you could possibly think of in '90s hip hop era, and Conscious Daughters being one of them, and Paris being another. You know, but I just sent her the link. Hopefully, she gets on this link real quick, real soon, so we can knock out at least a good 30 minute interview. I got some questions, and I seen a clip the other day where they were talking about how Jay-Z used to open up for them, or Jay-Z opened up for them before, which to me is still like that's something like, let me get in that before like she gets on this link hopefully here soon. Touring and opening up for artists that are major. Hey puppy, I'm chilling. I'm on a podcast right now. We live. Hey, I hear you, but we live. Whenever I'm done, we'll get you outside or whatever. So touring and open up for artists that like actually have fan base is still like the best way to break an artist. It's still like numero uno way to break an artist, man. It's just putting a up and coming artist on a tour with a headliner that's actually selling out whatever their venues, even if it's only like an artist that only sells out venues. Excuse me, sells out venues that are on like 3, 4, 500. You got to start somewhere. After you tour, say 20 dates that average about 3 to 500. You know, you should be coming out of there with a good 1,000 fans if you really got a good music, you know how to work the crowd, you got a good merchandise game. You should be coming out with some fans. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a 10% rule. Typically you only get 10% of the people to do what you want them to do. In the business world, it's usually 2 to 3%, only 2 to 3%. You know what I'm saying? So if you get like every show you go to, if you got 300 to 500 people there, and you open it up for a headliner, like 10% is 30 to 50 fans. If you got 30 to 50 fans every show you leave, I mean that's pretty good because the goal is typically to get 1,000 fans spending like $100. 1,000 fans spending $100 in a 365-day period. That's the typical goal for like a good minimal standard goal for a musician. 1,000 people spending $100. So if you, I mean, you're well on your way if you're getting 30 to 50 people every single show that are willing to buy a T-shirt, a hat, a hoodie, a CD or anything of that nature. Um, I sent her a link like 6 minutes ago. Let's see if she gets on it here real soon. So yeah, touring is still like the number one way to break an artist, man. Cause just live performing in front of fans is always the best way to engage with fans. And when you tour with artists, like you don't like after you get done performing, you don't need to be worried about like can you go backstage and hang out with the headliner. You need to be worrying about getting out there and working the crowd, taking pictures on Instagram with everybody that's willing to take pictures, trying to sell merch, networking with people in the crowd or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You got to get out there and actually interact. I think artists get to a certain point where they think they're above interacting with fans and people, and that's not really a good way to go, man. Like I saw where when we interviewed, no, who was it? We interviewed uh Mr. Servon. He was talking about I don't like to call them fans. I like to call them friends. And that's the philosophy, man. You want your fans to be your friends, so you want to treat them like friends. You know what I'm saying? You want to take pictures with them when they see you. You want to sign autographs, all that good stuff. Um, hopefully she got this. I sent her this link. Hopefully she good. It's been like 8 minutes. Um, man, don't look like we're gonna get CMG on from the Conscious Doubters here tonight. I don't know what's going on. I know she don't come on here shortly. Probably gonna wrap it up and get ready for some music reviews tomorrow. And go check out the interview we did a couple weeks ago with Nonchalant. I had Nonchalant talking about her 5 o'clock in the morning single. Let me see what we how she looking. Uh, I might have to send it to her on the Instagram. You know what? Let me see if we can Instagram it. We're gonna see if we can Instagram it real quick. I'm not seeing her just yet. With a CMG, man, oh man, I ain't gonna let me send a message. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna give her a few more minutes, just a few more minutes. But yeah, artists like perform. Like there's just like a lot of people out there that think that every musician is supposed to get paid to perform. What I mean, that's bogus. That's bogus. Cause I mean, if you can't bring any people through the door that are willing to pay to watch you perform, why would anybody pay you to perform? And why would you think you should get paid to perform if nobody's willing to pay you to watch you perform? I mean, it's easy for somebody to say, artists are supposed to get paid to perform. Yeah, artists with consumer base, with fan base are supposed to get paid to perform. That's not just people who make music just because they make music. Everybody that makes music doesn't deserve to get paid to perform. I mean, if that was the case, then everybody that makes music could just rent a venue themselves and pack it in themselves. You know what I'm saying? And if they could, they would, but they're not. You know, Cause you gotta build. I mean, you gotta build. You gotta really build fan base. You can't just pay for plays and pay to do this. You gotta really build fan base. You gotta really work artists, really work songs, really build them up from scratch. You gotta put out engaging content, the right kind of content. Um, Constantly put out this content. There's a lot of things that go in place. Like you can't just make music and think, "Oh, I should get paid to perform." I don't care if you sound like the second coming of Nas. If you have nobody that's willing to pay you to perform at the moment, then you know you shouldn't get paid to perform. If you're not even selling t-shirts, up here we go. Here we go. We got CMG. All right, so enough with me rambling. We about to get into it. We about to bring on CMG from the Conscious Daughters. That's who y'all been waiting for. She's, I ain't the star or nothing. CMG is more of a star to me, and that's who y'all want to hear anyway. So let's get into it. Let's bring on
Hey, hey, hey.
CMG. How you doing?
I'm in an Uber. So,
Oh, you in the?
yeah, it's going good. How you doing? Can you hear me?
I'm doing good, man. I'm glad you took. Yeah, I can hear you. So I'm glad you took the time out to do this. I ain't gonna take up too much of your time and whatnot. I know you probably got a lot going on.
Yeah, I meant
So
to
let's start
respond and I
here.
apologize. I ended up in the car because of traffic issues and stuff. So, I thought I would be grounded in a better place
Okay.
for you, but maybe we can do it again another time too and, chop it up part two.
You're always gonna be more than welcome. You're always gonna be more than welcome. So I want to start here. So back in the days, it says you passed out a demo tape to Paris,
Yeah.
right? And that's how you got signed. Like, how many demo tapes do you think you passed out up to that point?
Easily 100, maybe. Well, we used to give them out to our friends, but to demo
Okay.
tapes, as far as the people who could sign us, a handful. I'd probably go with about 20. Every time we saw somebody, we went to a lot of concerts and stuff. And just we were just underage at all the concerts, and Uncle Sam's Army and them came, all the fresh fests, and in the early '90s, when anytime we would run into somebody, we would give them a tape. So yeah, a small handful, about 20, 25. But Paris, he as soon as he got the tape, what really attracted him was the name of the group, Conscious Daughters. Because we had went to
Okay.
the club and we had on hats and jackets that had Conscious Daughters on it. You remember when you can go to the mall and get your name on your coat
Yeah,
back
yeah.
in the day? So we did that. We got our coats and hats made up and everything, and it kind of caught his eye. The word conscious caught his eye because we would later learn that he's a real conscious rapper. Now we called ourselves conscious daughters, but we was more of a social conscious type of group than a hardcore politically conscious type of group. So that's really what attracted him to us. I think he saw the name and then he approached us, and just character wise, Special One, she was very. As soon as she walked in the room, just all eyes went to her. She was very animated and just different and relatable and attractive to people.
Hmm.
Everywhere we went, we'd be at the airport. She'll be sitting in the corner talking to a 98-year-old white man from Mississippi or something. Like having a full blown conversation. But everybody loved her. So I think that's really, really what carried us was her awesome personality and tactics and the things that she used to do as a person. She was so before her time. Rest in peace. She passed away in 2011. But um, yeah, it was a lot of special one. And we've been best friends since we were 11 years old. So
Oh man.
us together, we're like, uh, what's that fat dude and that skinny dude's name from anyway, we were like, just a pair, a pair that really became to be known because we had been kind of popular in the Bay Area already. At our high school, we had a high school radio station we were on. It was
Wow.
a small 10-watt station, but everybody knew us. In addition, she was a basketball star in high school. and very popular. So most likely to, she was a class clown, most likely to be a star athlete. And I credit most of everything to her because I wasn't that as outspoken as she is. She'll
Hmm.
just walk into a room and start talking to people. And I don't always do that, you know. So yeah, and that's kind of how it happened. When we met Paris, he was attracted to us, I believe, through the conscious when he saw that on our jackets and stuff like that. So yeah.
Now, when y'all came out, was there a lot of females from the West Coast out at that time?
Well, yeah. See, a lot of people don't know the whole Bay Area at that time. There's probably a circle of 10 groups. We're all very, very close. Digital Underground, Conscious Daughters, Rapping Forte, Mac Mall, Richie Rich. All of us, we all came up together. We ran in the same circles. And there was a small group of women, Sugar T being one of them, was E40's sister.
Okay.
Um, and then Mystic. I don't know if you heard of Mystic. Mystic was the goddess of Digital Underground. And that's one of my best friends. Marvelous was out here in Sacramento working with SIBO, doing her thing. You let this car go, please. Doing her thing, and then yeah. So and then who else? We had 357, of course. Can't leave them out. So we all knew each other. We all hung out in the same little clubs. We all vibed at the same places. We attended all the same events. So yeah, that would be Sugar T, Mystic, Conscious Daughters, Oaktown 357, Marvelous, and we had some singers. Can't think of her name right now. Silky, and yeah. And if I forgot anybody, that's not intentional.
Well, like, even though y'all had the conscious in the name, your flow was pretty hard when y'all came out. Y'all had really tough flows. A lot of the songs were hard. Was there any other females rapping like y'all at that time when y'all came out?
Well, you have bitches with problems and hoes with attitudes over there, and the BWP and HOA. They were dope too. But I think with what made it, we were just unique.
Yeah.
I really kind of connect us with a lot of people call us the female dog pound, and when you get
Okay.
it's the chemistry that we had that set us apart and different. We both grew up in music, so especially when her mother worked for a radio station, and as a kid she grew up in the radio station, so she knew how to operate everything in that radio station, the reel to reels,
Oh
the
man.
boards, everything by the time she was 12.
Wow.
And me, my father was also in the music. Frankie Beverly actually stayed in my apartment writing music and stuff. We had a 2-bedroom apartment, so I kind of grew up as a band baby, and we really connected through music. She got her first set of turntables when she was 13, so she started scratching, and we started just mimicking and imitating a lot of New York rappers at first, because she would get
Uh-huh.
all the wax because her mom worked at the radio station. She would get all the wax. Her mom get
Wow.
all the promo stuff, and it would all come from New York. So we had all the awesome two stuff and all of the Ralph McDaniel's videos, and we just had everything that was happening in New York, all the New York promo stuff, and that's really, really what we were on early on in life. I'm talking 14 years old, 13, 14, 15 type of
Yeah.
deal. So yeah, so that's kind of we're just different people. I met some females that had groups, and they like, how do you guys get along? And my thing is, we've been best friends since we were 11, and that's hard to find,
Yeah.
you know. And it's just certain things that we're not gonna do without each other. Period. And we never broke that sister code, and that's what really kept our chemistry together. And then we think alike, but we're opposites. Like she's dark, I'm light. She's athletic, I'm horrible. She was a athletic star. I'm clumsy as hell, And so yeah, it just was a pairing was just made in in made like never to be made again, as far as I'm concerned. I don't think I've ever seen another rap duo except Boston D. Who, when they came out, they was hard, but they weren't. They were from, I think, Detroit, right? Boston D, and but
Uh-huh.
they weren't friends. Like they broke up. Like from what I heard, they broke up. They would be arguing. I don't know if they were arguing and fighting, but I just don't. They didn't have the love and the loyalty that we had to get through whatever to make it to where we had wanted to be. So that's kind of the main story, I think. Hope that answered your question.
So y'all dropped something to ride to, Funky Expedition. What was the vibe like after that single drops?
Man, I mean, the Bay was on fire. Like, and it was the females. I never forget. We were going to LA and we were supposed to go to like a Snoop concert or something. And we were going to a sound check, and then they were like Snoop Dogg and the Dog Pound and Dr. Dre are waiting for you guys. We was like, what? Us? We couldn't believe it. We were scared and like, I was like, they wait for us. What do you mean? So we get in the thing because they back then with that gangster look,
Yeah,
really what it was more about. Like, they probably looked at us and was like, wow, they're from the Bay. So they got all this gangster gear on and shit. We weren't real gangbangers, number
yeah,
one. But it was about the style. A lot of the women were doing it. For example, Escape was doing the same thing. We all had on the baggy
yeah,
clothes and
yeah.
and the bandanas, but nobody was really gangbanging. Okay. But the niggas in LA was. So every time we would go to LA, they would be looking for us. Like the Bloods hired us because my name is CMG, which really stands for Cash Making Girl, which is
Okay.
also the initials of my name. But they got the Crenshaw Mafia gangsters,
Oh man.
so they immediately loved me. And when we
Yeah.
took the pictures, we did red and blue, you know. And so we just had so much love. So everything changed. Like everybody in on the streets was vibing, and we were females, and they was like, y'all hard. But when we heard ourselves on the radio, that did it for me. We were actually driving down. We were in the car together going somewhere, and we came on the radio. We stopped in the middle of the street and started dancing all in the middle of the street. The cars was beeping at us and everything. We didn't even care. We were like, run. And the girl was like, no, we're on the radio. Turn to 106. And as the cars was coming by, she was like, turn to 107.7. That was the radio station that put us on.
That's crazy.
And they was like going around her and stuff. And some of them said, what station? They was pulling over and stuff. It was funny, but yeah, life changed. It was like to the point where like we were so into the community. We were already very popular. Carol was very popular already, because she sold weed and stuff. She had the best weed. Everybody knew that. So when they seen her, they was like, "Oh, where's Carol? Special one." And so she was always been out in the streets and just been wanting to be out everywhere. And so it came to the point where we like needed security and stuff, because we would just be going out
Yeah.
places. And our accountants were like, you guys need to get some security. You don't want nobody to try to rob you or nothing. We was like, no, everybody loved us. We didn't say that, but it was a good point. So we had to, even with her, like some places she wanted to go, I was like, I'll meet you on the other side. I'm not going to do all that. But it just changed. And then all of our friends and family was so proud of us. That was a great feeling, obviously. And being on TV, there's no feeling like that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So the song "Shitty Situation." Now, was that a real life situation, or was that just like a situation that you seen happen to maybe somebody else before?
Right, and that's the thing. So Paris actually wrote that song. Now
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you how all this happened. So when we got with Paris and he offered us a record deal, and we decided to take it. He said he wanted to write songs on each of our albums that had a message to it, because he's
Okay.
all for the upliftment of women and people of color. Period. Right.
Yeah.
So he didn't, he didn't. He's not a smoker, drinker type of person. We in there with 40 ounces and shit and smoking weed. You know. So he was like, he wanted to tackle some problems of the world, teenage pregnancy being one of them. So he wrote
Yeah.
that song. It was totally made up, but it was great, 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 great. And as soon as I heard it, I was like, wow, we just did what he said because he was so amazing and knowledgeable and just dope, right? We knew he knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
So the first album is a shitty situation, and that's about teenage pregnancy, not a true story. Second album was a song about AIDS. He wrote that about just to educate people about AIDS and how it was a man-made virus, and that was the message there. And then on the third album, we had "Dirty Little Secret," which was about a song about domestic violence.
Okay.
Yeah, so just like representing for the ladies, putting that message out there, because we were just rapping about riding, having a good time, and partying, and smoking and drinking, and hanging out with our friends, and we would do that all day if you let us. So he
Yeah.
just basically just, he was smart. He knew how to insert things to send messages to set us apart from everybody else. So it was genius. He's a mastermind.
And then you got Wife of a Gangster. That seems like that's based somewhat around like the consequences of the wife of a gangster might face.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, here's the thing with the people nowadays. All these kids are growing up to drug user music. We grew
Yeah.
up on drug dealer music.
Yeah,
There's a
yeah.
difference. We're very different. So most of our boyfriends were drug dealers. And dated a lot of drug dealers, and it was just a topic of a song that we wrote. One day we were like, you the wife of a gangster, da, da, and then we would make a joke, and then Carol go, ooh, ooh. So then we start writing it. And then we just started, it's kind of based on truth, but to, truth how you amplify it with your own shit, without telling on people. We just kind of put the words together. Being the wife of a gangster, yeah, you better put up because here he comes pulling up now. Like it's just yeah, it was genius. It was also we wanted to do music and we was focused on that. And every day we were writing songs every day. And so yeah, yeah, we that just but we wrote "Wife of a Gangster" before we met Paris. So when we met Paris, we gave him a demo tape, and he took a good majority of that the songs
Uh
that were
huh.
on there, and stripped the beats and had us re-record them, and update the lyrics, and then it was harder the second time and third time we did it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like taking what we already had and putting it back to making a masterpiece, basically.
So a couple weeks ago, I had Nonchalant on here. We were talking about her father.
Wow,
Yeah.
really?
And I asked her, something I want to ask you, like, how do you feel about the female rappers this day and age?
Today I feel great about them because they're doing
Yeah,
so
that's what
well,
she
and
said.
I'm happy to see it. And about 5, 10 years ago, I thought it was
Yeah.
terrible. So um, today is just a new day, and we have to accept that. I'm very worried about their mental health because I see they're just all they talk about is bags and purses and eyelashes and fucking nails and shit. They look like they're gonna fly away at any second with all that damn shit on their face. We didn't have to do
Yeah.
all that, but that's what's important to these young girls. That's what they care about, how they look and where your money at? Money, but I get it. Now they get in the bag, so it's all starting to make sense. Do I think it's good? I like some of them. I like Lotto.
Okay.
Some of them it's just ridiculous. But it's a lot of songs that I just started singing that I didn't like at first that I ended up liking because they force you to like it. That's how that works. But I like Lotto. But it's nothing like the '90s rappers. It's just that'll never happen again. Just nothing like the '90s rappers. Just let them know. There's nothing like
Yeah.
the '90s rappers, and before that, even in the '80s, those women that was back in the '80s and starting it off, they were Roxanne Shante is dope. Like if you really sat down and seen what was going on and how all this came together, it's all authentic. And a lot of the stuff that's happening now just doesn't have that authenticity. In my opinion,
I agree.
there's
I totally agree.
trying to be like somebody else, you know. But I respect it. I'm not a hater, you know. I'm not a hater. Some of them I like, some I don't. But I don't knock them down. I just and people like them. I'm not a big Sexy Red fan, but when she made that little song, I was singing it. I didn't buy. I'm not gonna go buy her music, you know. I just can't relate to what she's talking about. I don't want to. I'm tired of hearing about asses and shaking and booties and buttholes and shit. That just turns me off.
But I agree, the women are definitely winning big time nowadays. I mean, they're almost everyone that's coming out is winning in some kind of way. It seems like.
Yeah,
So 2000,
and it's well deserved.
yeah,
So, yeah.
2007. You was on a Nas West Coast remix. How did that come about?
Um. Well, I was approached by Bobcat,
Oh, okay.
who is a DJ. Yeah, and so he hit us up and said, "Hey, Nas is doing a remix, and you know he wants to get you guys on it." Um, Unfortunately, like they cut it short, so some of our stuff didn't go. Like there was a long version that we were like on for a long time, but we ended up just being on a little portion of it at the end because I guess they shortened it. But what an honor that he even could thought about us
Yeah.
to do it, you know. So now we had toured with
Okay.
Nas, and you know when he was working on his album, he just happened to be with the Conscious Daughters when he wrote a famous line called "More conscious of the way we raise our daughters."
Oh, okay.
So he happened to be on tour with us at that time. So I'm sure that we gave him that lyric. So it was just a great thing that he would even think to do that. So it was I was honored, 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 honored. What a blessing.
Now you did Rap
Yep,
City, MTV Jams. You've been on Soul Train. Is any of these appearances stand out to you as the most memorable?
definitely
Soul
Soul
Train.
Train because I got to meet Don Cornelius, and I've been watching Don Cornelius since I was a baby. My parents was watching Soul Train. So and then it's so funny because when we met Don Cornelius and what's his name was there what is his name, he was hosting. Robert
Oh,
Townsend was
okay.
there too. So when we got there, Don Cornelius was more behind the scenes and Robert Townsend was hosting it that day, and it was us and Blackstreet and Teddy Riley and another group I can't think of who it was. And we took a picture with Don Cornelius. The picture the picture with Don Cornelius that we took, after looking at it, it looked like he taking a shit. He was like, his face was so disgusted. It was just how the picture came out. Every time I look at it, I started laughing. But he was so nice and honored. It was an honor to meet him. And first of all, when we went into Soul Train, I was shocked at how small it was.
I hope to God that
Yeah,
AI
it was really
that clips
small.
up what you just said. If not, I'm gonna have to manually clip that one up. That's gonna be one of the funniest clips that I'm gonna put out right there. That's gonna be hilarious.
And we was like, why our picture came out all messed up? But I don't care. I post that picture everywhere. Nobody seems to trip off of it but me. But
Now
uh,
I saw an
yeah.
interview just the other day where you were talking about Jay-Z opening up for you guys. I mean, did you think he would get as big as he is?
Um, Something was happening because all the DJs in our area was really. Did I think he would blow up? I don't think that we thought of anything about it
Uh-huh.
at the time because we were so probably big on ourselves. I don't know. I don't think I had sat back and said he's gonna blow up one day. I didn't. I don't. I think I will remember if I saw him and said, "Hey, he's hella dope. He's gonna blow up one day." But you know, there was Red Man and Method Man and people like
Yeah,
that were out at the time who I would not even, he wouldn't compare to them to me if you would have asked me then.
I agree with that.
You know, you're you're no Red Man, Method Man. You know, even the people that we have out here, he was all right. You know, but he grew to be something. But a lot of people don't see the greatness in people who are the greatest all the
Yeah,
time. Because to me, he just seemed like a normal dude rapping from New York. But I didn't never take the time to listen to his lyrics. But also, he had to grow
yeah,
too.
yeah.
he had to grow to where he got to. So, that being said, I don't remember thinking that, but I'm not surprised. Obviously, he's the greatest. Now
And
I
he
love him.
definitely
I
remembered
mean, he's
y'all
an icon.
later, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. He did, but we had seen him in
Yeah.
passing. After that, he opened up for us, and that was, I mean, I guess that's the first time we met. But we saw him after that, and would speak to him. Hey, and we did some show stuff together, and we actually went to a concert. The one that stands out to me, where we really talked to him, which was hilarious to me, was when we ran into him at the Up in Smoke tour with Snoop Dogg's tour. And we were all backstage, and we were in this hallway, and there was nobody in the hall but me and Carol talking. And then Jay Z just walked out the door into the hallway and started walking towards us. And Carol was like, "What's up?" And he was like, "What's going on?" We started talking, and she said, "Nigga," she said something. She said something. You doing such and such? So she said, "Nigga, you remember you used to open up for us?" And he started laughing. He started laughing, and then hugged us and stuff. But Carol was crazy. She was so funny. But that was real talk, and he chuckled at it. And but yeah, he definitely knows who we are. I mean, I've seen him enough times. So
I hate to ask you this, but how hard was it dealing with Special One's death?
um, I probably was drunk the whole time after for at least three
Wow.
months. So well, I wouldn't say that, but see, okay, here's the thing. Here's another thing that's different about a lot of the women who are out now. We have a circle of friends that we have had. There's about
Hmm.
nine of us. We've been best friends since we were 13, 14, 12, 11, 13, 14, 15 years old. So the support system was
That's
huge.
what's up.
Um, and so, and everywhere we went, they would come with us. Not all of them on it all the time, but it's the same. Like if you follow my pictures, I'm with the same people all the time. These women I've known since I've been 13 years old. We're still best friends to this day, and none of us have crossed nobody. And we don't know each other money. Ain't nobody stepping on nobody's man. None of that stuff. It's very loyal, just honest, pure sisterhood. And these women don't have that these days. They don't. They don't. They hate on each other so bad.
Yeah.
It's terrible. They have no real friendships. So, um, once she passed away, one of our friends, found her body,
Oh
in the house.
man.
Went to go look for her because I was trying to find her. Somebody had sent me a deposit for this song, and I was waiting for her because she was recording with Keep the Sneak and some other people at another studio. So I said, "Well, just do it there. I'm gonna do," because I had a studio in my house. So I was recording mine at my house, and she was gonna record over there. And she was like, "All right, I'm gonna do it and send it back to you." But I couldn't find her, so I thought she was just MIA because she would do that sometime. Um, but she wasn't. She was dead apparently because I had to send my friend out to go look for her, and then that's when she, went to her house. Her door was unlocked, by the way, and she was like on the floor, so she had dropped dead. She had a pulmonary embolism. Same thing Heavy D
Oh
had
man.
when you had blood clots. Yeah, she had a blood clot in her knee. Blood clots in her knee that hit her lungs. And remember, I told you she was an athlete. She had two or three orthoscopic surgeries on her knees. But as she got older, she stopped really going to the doctor so much. And I remember asking her, "Did you get that checked out?" Because her knee would, after we would do shows, her knee would be hurting after a while. So she's always had knee issues. I feel like shit that I didn't like force her to go to the doctor more. But who knew that when her legs were swelling like, and that's what she died from. Yeah.
Damn.
So the
Sorry
doctor
to hear
said
that.
she didn't feel herself hit the floor. That's what he said. That made me feel good. Like she wasn't having any, pain or nothing. So
Before I let you go, I got one last question. Are you gonna be releasing any new music anytime soon?
actually, I'm working on it now, and it's
Okay.
gonna be a Conscious Daughters album because I have a lot of unreleased Carol music.
Mm-hmm.
And I've actually been started doing some shows, throwback shows, and I'm actually have a call tomorrow to get on some of these big concerts. Um,
That's what's up.
with the likes, so my brothers are out here traveling digital underground, the Loonies. We're all starting to start doing shows, more shows, and showing up doing the classics. So I have an awesome hype girl. and DJ, and yeah, we about to go out and do that. But the music will have special one on it, which is gonna be classic. I'm
That's what's
hoping to
up.
get it out. It's early spring. Early spring, definitely. I don't know how I'm gonna do the videos, but I'm gonna make some visuals and get it done. So yeah, I can't wait for you guys to hear it because a lot of people, they make comebacks, and I've been listening to everybody who's making comebacks. Like when you're an '90s artist, you make a comeback that's like a '90s comeback kind of. That's kind of what everybody's doing. Like,
Yep.
and I
Yep.
don't want. I'm not looking to sound. I mean, I'm not trying to sound like I'm trying to sound like these young girls, but I still got it in my style and my voice, and me and her together, we'll be very relevant right now on any kind of beat. So I'm gonna do a little bit of obviously working with Rick Rock, and you can't lose with him. And I don't know if you know who that is. Rick Rock, the
Yeah.
producer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely got to work with him. I'm trying to pull Paris because Paris is a Dr. Dre, basically. And so I'm trying to just get a sound that is up to date. I don't want too much slow stuff. I just want it to be slapping. That's it. I want soup. I just slap, 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 slap after slap. I don't want to waste a whole bunch of time. I want the rhymes to be on point. I want the hooks to be nice. I don't want to have too much of anything. So I'm taking my time doing it because
I
I'm
don't
a
know how recent that grimy record was that y'all had, but when I heard that one, I was like, I really like that record. Is that one of y'all's later records, grimy?
yeah. That one's later. That one came. Yeah, that one's from our last
That
album.
was a really good record.
Yeah, the Federation. Goldie Gold.
Yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
Federation. That's Rick Rock's group. He's really good. He's the they did all the hyphy stuff.
Yeah, I
Uh,
like the way that record sound, and y'all definitely still had it. I didn't see, and you're right. Like a lot of that's exactly what I say about some of these '90s cats. When they come out, it sounds too '90ish. It doesn't
right,
sound like it's updated hip hop.
right. You got to take that '90s flow, that '90s relaxation, that confidence. Be yourself, but slap it out a little bit because
Apply
these
to
kids got
something
some
to
beats.
today. Yeah,
The one thing they're doing right is their beats,
yeah,
for sure. And I'm not about to put out no '90s beats when they slap when it's available, and they're cheaper too. Hell no.
yeah.
I'm gonna go grab like Redman and get a song with him and just slap that on like a Rick Rock track, and do some just stuff out of the blue, like and because I definitely want collaborations with people who can stand the test of time, and he's one of them.
He's one of them. Yeah,
So that's how I'm gonna be picking people, like to help keep it uplifted, basically.
I like how you think.
Yeah, so pray for me.
All right. Well, before we
Hey,
let you go,
Tommy.
anybody want to shout out?
I don't know. Just shout out to everybody. I appreciate you doing this interview. Anybody who's listening, I know I'm looking up because I'm in the car. But I see you all out there, and I love and
I
appreciate
think we're
all
gonna
the.
get some good clips out of this one. I think we'll get some real good clips out of this one.
Okay, and we'll do it again once the song comes out.
Yeah,
Once the music
yeah.
comes out, for sure.
You're more than welcome
Yeah. Say much
anytime.
love to you, and shout out to the world. Everybody, please be nice to each other and slow your ass down and it's not that serious. And I pray for these young people with these mental issues. Because when I was growing up, we didn't know nothing about no damn anxiety and mental health and none of that shit. Your mama said, "Sit your ass down. You're fine." And that took care of that mental health right there. So I hope everybody takes care of themselves, and that's it.
All right. Well, you a
All
friend of
right,
the show. You're more than welcome anytime, and enjoy the rest of your night.
all right. You have a good one too, and make sure
All
you
right.
you put a little filter on my coloration and make sure I look right. Take off any blotches and shit. You know what I mean?
Okay, I got you.
All right.
All right.
All right. Take care.
Peace.
Bye.
Well, there you go. CMG, the Conscious Daughters. See, that's why patience is a good thing. Patience is a real good thing. It's very patient tonight. I definitely wanted to get that interview out the way. Yo, she might have had the funniest clip that I'm gonna have on this show when she said Don. It was it Don Cornelius or Yeah, I think she said when she took the picture with Cornelius or Robert Townsend, one of them that it looked like they was taking this shit. And rest in peace, a special one, man. You know, she passed away. You heard of 2011. She had a blood clot. Sounds like a really great soul that we lost in hip hop. Really bright soul, bright person in hip hop. From what she was saying about Special One, and I mean, she gave her pretty much all the credit for pretty much all of their music career, you know, and yeah, yeah, very interesting video interview. Shouts out to Paris who produced for them as well for actually signing them and putting them on. You heard all the names from the Bay Area that she named. I mean, the Bay Area is they doing their own thing, man. They got their own thing. They got their own slang, uh, their own movement. Um, yeah, I think this was a really good interview right here. I'm glad she took time out. Hopefully, she comes back on again. Friend of the show, CMG, Conscious Daughters. And I don't know if I got much more to say about earlier. J. Cole did definitely is not the winner of the Kendrick and Drake battle. How are you gonna be the winner when you didn't even compete? That makes no sense. We call somebody a winner and they didn't even compete. And you know, as far as when she was talking about what I was talking about earlier about open up for artists like that actually headline tours. That's still the best way to break an artist to this day. You can't break an artist through radio because radio is not just radio. You gotta have radio and a street team. A street team is a dying art, and you just can't break an artist on radio like you used to. Period. You could break artists quicker on SoundCloud than you can radio. That's why you had the SoundCloud movement. You had all the SoundCloud rappers that J. Cole was calling out. You break artists on TikTok quicker. YouTube, like where they broke Moray's song, Quicksand, they broke that on YouTube, and then it carried over to Spotify, you know, working on Spotify afterwards. Of course, it helps when you got Marshmello co-signing your music. It really helps when you got Marshmello co-signing your music. And that's another thing. Co-signs do help in um this process as well. Like, you know, you had Jay-Z co-sign Cole, but even Cole still had to go out there and build fan base. He still had to drop the mixtape, build fan base. To be honest with you, they almost had felt like it was going to flop. That's why they had to do the Trey Songz single, and it wasn't until he did, I think, Workout that he really had that solidified hit, you know. But yeah, no way that J. Cole is the winner when he didn't even compete, man. And he took an L when he took that song down. Fayettenam took an L when he took that song down, and he made us look bad, man. And you know, Fayettenam dudes, it's not really Cole bowing out is not really representative of the Fayettenam mentality, man. The militant minds that we have and whatnot. But I want to say shouts out to CMG. Shouts out to anybody tuned in. Live music reviews tomorrow, probably at 5 p.m. Eastern time. Maybe later. Who knows? Because I do got something I got to do tomorrow and whatnot. Super, super early in the day. So I will be tied up some of the day. But yeah, I'm going to get off here, clip up some of those clips with CMG, and if they don't clip up that Soul Train clip, I'm gonna have to manually clip that up myself. That was hilarious. And you know what? She was funny anyways too. She said a few things that were really funny, man. Had me laughing, man. Really good person, really good human being. CMG, the Conscious Daughters. Appreciate her taking time out. And we about to wrap it up for another episode. What time is this? Like 8:04. Yeah, we're gonna call it a night. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Don't forget to submit music live for Fayettenam at gmail.com. Peace, and I'm out.